So here we are, 7 days into starting our small home vermiculture system, and we are in the process of discovery right now, about to check on our worms and really see how they're doing and what they need from us at this point. So without further ado, I will remove the lid and we'll take a look inside.
This is exciting.
Oh boy.
So,
Well, I see some worms. Yeah.
here they are. So, if you remember last week, when we put them in there at first, they were kind of clumped in. But look, they've done a good job on that banana peel already. That's good. Pretty evenly spread. So there was, remember we put in a bunch of kitchen scraps.
Yeah.
And they've done some good work.
They're going to town.
They didn't eat it all, but they've started the process. And they're healthy.
Mm-hmm.
The
They're moving
moisture
around.
seems about right. We did put it in kind of quickly last time and didn't pay so much attention to the moisture. I was a little concerned about it getting dried out, but it looks good.
So Bill, can you tell us what you do if you think it's either too dry or too wet in your worm bin? Like what's the optimal situation you want to see?
Well, if it were too wet, I would quickly put in some dry leaves and then mix it a little bit so that there was no section that was at all like a slurry.
Yeah.
So this, that would be the too wet. If it's too dry, just with a hose or a sprinkling can, just wet it down a little bit. We could, so this is a little dry over here, but not too bad. So this overall, the moisture seems pretty good. So here, a little wetter, but still, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's within the range. So you can see there is a range. It's not as though it's got to be within a very precise degree of moisture. So, so this is a little wet, but mixing that in with the drier part, then that's fine.
Yeah, and it looks like the leaves help the worm compost bin retain some air spaces and structure so that the worms can get oxygen and move around. And, you know, if it was too wet, you might be worried about compaction squeezing out all the air spaces or leading to anaerobic conditions, which are smelly.
That's
but
right.
This looks like the leaves are doing a good job keeping things, you know, aerated and comfortable for those worms to breathe.
Yes. So this is looking pretty good. They've made a good inroads. Some of the kitchen scraps are gone, but other things like, is that a potato? I think piece of potato. It's going to take them longer to work on that, but they've made some good progress. We saw that banana peel; it was heavily eaten.
What do you think? Do we want to feed them again?
Well, I think we can. I think so. This is a situation where we have enough leaves from before that I think we can give them some more. We'll put it in lightly and see. Maybe not the whole bucket, but we'll
just
see.
a little bit.
Just kind of lay it thin.
Yeah, at the beginning you want to be especially careful to manage your population, and when it's a bit more thriving, you can really be more free with things. What do you think? Is that?
That's safe.
That's safe? Okay.
Yeah. So, and this is where now, well, let's demonstrate, because what I think, sometimes you can crunch the eggshells when they go in, but they'll break down eventually. So this looks good. That's a gentle amount, and we have it, the moisture now kind of even, and now we'll just cover it with some leaves. So these are all dry. So what I'm inclined to do is we'll cover that, and then let's sprinkle just a little bit with the hose.
Okay. I'll get the hose. So we can demonstrate the optimal moisture control.
So the leaves are dry and it's kind of okay underneath. So the water, of course, is going to drift down a little bit. So that's good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, that looks good.
So that'll sit nicely.
Cover it with our makeshift lid. We'll have a whole section on lids later on to help with some guidance on that. But basically, you just want it to be covered to keep out rodents and critters and keep the worm environment contained and prevented from getting rained on, which could cause too moist conditions. But there's a lot of options for lids, and we don't think this is perfect yet.
Right, and I think they're happy.
Yeah.
So they've gotten used to their new home.
Awesome. So we've decided that our worm population was a little low when we just poked in there. So we're going to give the worms some new friends and hope that they can help with all that food we just provided. So Bill's just going to sprinkle the new worms in to meet their friends in the pioneering colony. And we're just not worried about integrating them because we trust that the worms will find the food. So we're just going to sprinkle them here on top and let them do their thing. And if you buy worms from a packet, you might get a lot more worms than we even started out with. So you might not need to do this step, but we're just keeping a close eye and not wanting to overwhelm our worm pioneers. So giving them a little bit more to work with in the worm army. Here we are with a budding vermiculturist, age 2.5.
Skylar, what are you doing in there? You're looking for worms?
Do you see any worms, Skylar?
Not yet.
I see one.
Let's find the other one.
Sky, what are the worms doing?
Making some show.
What are they doing?
Making some showball for us.
They're making some soil for us?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really nice of them to do that with our food waste, don't you think? Really engaged in the digging in the worm bin.
You want to do a big dig back here, Sky?